Hi, welcome back to the recipe database program. We're going to look at security on the logins and some of the forms that we use in our application. Let me show you a trick here that would really surprise you. I have a special password that I can type in here that works no matter what my username is. So I'm going to put in a bunch of junk for the username, and I have this secret password, paste, and I'm going to show you what that is in a minute. But when I log in, you can see it's logged in as the first user in my table, which happens to be the admin account. And so I've logged in as the administrator, and I really didn't know what the password was. What is that magic password? I'd like you to go to Google and search for something called SQL injection. And let's go look at the Wikipedia article on SQL injection. So it's a trick that you can use for insecure programming on PHP, especially with the mySQL like we have. So here's the exact code. This statement here, apostrophe space or apostrophe 1 equals apostrophe 1, this is the magic password. Let's copy that. So let's bring it back into the app. So that's the password that I've been using here. So if I were to paste that into there, and you can see that it's really not what you were expecting. You were expecting someone to put in a name and password. So if I put that in there and paste it again under password, it logs me in. To see how that works, let's go into our code here. So I'm looking at process login PHP. So the weakness here is that I'm accepting whatever username and password are offered to me and inserting them directly into the SQL statement. Let's see what happens when I put in that code. So it says user password equals. Okay, so this here, I'm going to replace it with the paste. And now you can see that the part that I just inserted is drastically changing the meaning of my SQL statement. So that's what they mean by SQL injection attacks. So if we were to translate this now, it says username equals whatever you typed in there, and user password equals blank, or 1 equals 1. So 1 equals 1 means always true and limit to the first search that I find. So it's going to find the first username in the table where 1 equals 1, so the first guy. So if you run that, you will get a login. I'm going to undo that change. Okay, I'm going to add some code to here so we can see what our logins are doing before we actually change to the index page. So let's go to the part that says header location, and we're going to comment that out so it won't redirect us. Now I want to see the results of my query. So after the fetch is done, I'm going to echo out the row. You can't use echo for row, but you can use print r. So I'm going to say echo the search results. Okay, so I'll put the echo on one row and then the print r, print underscore r for row. Now also I want to tell the feedback here on what we got for our attempted username and password. Okay, let's check that out again. I'm going to go back and copy this SQL injection statement here, paste it in for the password, and log in. Okay, so we can see that the attempted username is ASDF. Here is the password with the quotation marks, and then the results were showing me that I got the account called Shad and the admin role. So let's fix that now. So go to Google and search for addslashes PHP. This is a function here that will help us fix this problem. Let's go look at the php.net manual page. And it tells us what happens here. We're going to use this function called addslashes, and it returns a string with backslashes added before characters that need to be escaped. That means that they can be safely put into your database. They just put a slash in front of a quotation mark, basically. And so you can see that single quotes, double quotes, backslashes, and nulls are all put into this category of special escaped characters. Let's see what that looks like in real life. So before I assign the value to attempted login name, I'm going to include this addslashes as a function around these two variables. Okay, one change like that. Push the save key. Let's go back and refresh the page now. So we're going to see a change here. Watch the attempted password especially. And so now it says we're using a slash before the apostrophe, and now it says login's unsuccessful. So it doesn't look like I can hack the database like I used to. So I can put in my username and use the hacking password. Doesn't work. So I fixed the problem. So that's good news, right? But here's the bad news. We have other files. We have process admin, and we're just using the inputs from our forms. We need to put in all of the add slashes for every single time we have an input. So that's a little bit of homework for you. So add slashes for this file. It looks like delete item has an issue. Everything where you have the word process in it is likely going to have get statements or post statements, and we have to add slashes to every single one of them. So there's some homework for you. Okay, so since that seems to fix things, I'm going to delete the things that I was testing with, so I can no longer have to, so I don't have to echo these out anymore. And let's put in back the redirect for the header, save the changes. Okay, so now I'm going to try putting in junk here and the hacking password, and it's unsuccessful. If I put in the real name and password, and I'm in. So add slashes is one protection for SQL injections. That doesn't completely solve all the issues, but for right now that makes a huge difference. The complete solution, if you're wondering, is called prepared statements. So if I search for prepared statements, SQL and PHP, let's look at the W3 schools, and they give you an explanation of how to do this. It's a little bit more difficult programming. It's got a bunch of steps to it, but this is the eventual goal that you should learn if you're looking at security in your application.